Good morning! Morning is broken. How are you, Jonathan? I'm your consecrated host, Father Jeff.
And you let the cat out of the bag. I'm Jonathan, the other consecrated host.
I like to steal your thunder.
Well,
It is February.
yeah.
Another month. You know, we were all waiting for 2021. And we've already blew through a month.
Yeah, a 12th of the way there.
January is gone. Can't believe it's already February. February is well, I don't know if January or February is my least favorite month. I don't know. It's one of those two.
Yeah, I don't really like either of them. At least not ever since I moved up to the Great White North. Which it's funny because Nebraskans don't think they live in the North.
No. This is nowhere near the North. Where I remember when I went to seminary, North American college, guys from all over the country, and, you know, some guy on the East Coast, he commented, "Oh, you're in Nebraska, you're way out west." It's like, well, never thought of ourselves as west. And then there was the tussle because all of the Ohioans believe themselves to be the Midwest. Like, that is the middle of the country. Like, are you kidding me? That's way out there in the East.
No, I believe the true middle of the country lies somewhere in Kansas.
Yes.
It
depends on, like, the contiguous states. I think there's a geographical center. And then if you take Alaska and Hawaii into consideration, I don't know where then that center falls.
Left.
And then there's the North American contact, and that's somewhere also. Yeah.
But Kansas would be in the middle.
That's very middle.
Due to Nebraska being north of Kansas, it's in the north.
No, it's still in the middle zone. You can consider us the middle. Kansas.
There's the equator. Anything above the equator is the northern hemisphere, not the middle hemisphere.
You just think you're so smart.
It's true.
Yes. Well, Jonathan, there's a lot happening this week.
Oh my goodness.
It's a big Catholic week.
It is.
Your kids are probably doing all sorts of non-educational things this week.
So this is our first time through Catholic Schools Week, so
It is Catholic Schools Week.
Yeah, I
celebrate those Catholic schools.
There was Catholic Schools Week when I was in school, but I don't remember. I was like, oh, it's Catholic Schools Week, but I don't remember anything special.
They've made it a bigger deal as, you know, like when I was younger, I remember like it was a thing, and there was something for every day, I think. I don't remember. But certainly, oh gosh, the last decade, 2, 3, I don't know. I mean, even back when I started teaching, Catholic Schools Week was already a pretty big thing. So you celebrate those Catholic schools. Because your kids you just have the one in the Catholic school?
Kindergarten and pre-K.
Oh, okay, kindergarten and pre-K. So they're doing Catholic school things.
It displaced 100th day.
Really?
Yeah, they were like, well, you know, the 100th day of school falls during Catholic Schools Week, so they moved it to last Friday.
Was it like the 98th day or something?
Yeah, they cheated them. But because Catholic Schools Week...
That was never a thing when I was a kid. Was that a thing when you were a kid? 100th
It was,
day?
yeah.
Really? I don't recall that at all. When I first saw that being done in the schools, it was like, wasn't that cute?
Yeah, I know.
100th day.
We had 100 goldfish ready to go for Joshua to bring to school, and he's like...
real goldfish?
Real goldfish.
A bag of
100% cheddar.
100% cheddar.
But then he's like, no. Can I have pennies?
Pennies?
Pennies.
This kid knows something.
So he got 100 pennies. He does know things. For a while, he called anything that was a coin a penny, though. So he's like, I got a penny.
And it was a
Joshua,
quarter.
that's a 25-cent penny, mister.
That's a quarter.
Yeah, this is worth 25 pennies. I mean, it's good to learn counting. I mean, money gives you incentive to learn to count. So,
it does, yeah.
He has been learning. But yeah, so he had 100 pennies. Does anybody else have 100 things they send to school with their kids?
Oh, gosh. There's all kinds of things. 100 pieces of cereal, 100 pieces of candy, 100 pennies, 100, I don't know. 100 everythings. Clothespins. I don't know. People use
They had to put
clothespins
100
anymore.
things inside of a little brown paper bag.
Oh. Why not in a clear plastic bag? That seems like it would not spill as easy.
It's in a clear plastic bag inside. It had to fit in there, so they didn't want them to bring like
100
donuts,
pillows,
yeah, pillows, whatever. So they wanted to keep it manageable.
That's someone who's learned from experience. Because there was a day when someone trekked in a wheelbarrow full of 100 bricks. And it's like, nope, it's got to fit in a little brown paper bag.
And that same day, Father Jeff's mom got a letter.
We didn't have 100th day. I feel cheated.
You should.
We even had 100 episode, and you poo-pooed that one.
Yep.
You were like, I'm not doing anything special. Thanks, Jonathan. Yeah. Thanks.
We don't even know even know what episode we're on anymore.
Thanks for hurting me. My soul is.
We lost the.
I know. We kind of got lazy.
That's a lot of work to keep.
Jonathan kind of got lazy. And I can't do it all.
Yep.
Insert violin playing here.
But it's not just Catholic schools.
It is not. It's a big Catholic week too. Mm-hmm. Lots of things happening. So today, not so much. But tomorrow, February 2nd, is the Feast of the Presentation of the Lord, also known as Candlemas Day.
Candlemas Day.
Because it's the day we bless candles.
Oh.
So the Presentation of the Lord, let's kind of just walk through this. Feast of the Presentation. This is we know that scripture passage where Mary and Joseph brought the baby Jesus to the temple to present him to God. And it is traditionally held 40 days after the Feast of Christmas. Can you believe it's been 40 days since Christmas? No. Well, it will be tomorrow. But 40 days after Christmas, so that's how the Mass begins. There's a big declaration that says, it has been 40 days since we celebrated the feast of the birth of the Lord, and blah, blah, blah. And so just as Jesus was brought into the temple, and you remember the prophet Simeon took him in his arms and said, Lord, now you may let your servant go in peace. Your word has been fulfilled. My own eyes have seen your glory, and this child shall be a light to the nations. And so the idea that Christ came in to the Lord's house, to God's house, as a light shining, that inspired Catholics to commemorate the day that when we go into the church on the Feast of the Presentation, we bring a candle, and those candles are blessed. So typically, if you do a full thing, many times you'll meet outside of the church, light a bunch of candles, bless them, and then everybody processes into the church with their lit candles to start the celebration of Mass.
Then you blow them out in unison?
Yes.
That's not COVID approved.
Maybe we'll have people go, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
That is a great visual representation of bringing the light into the church.
Absolutely. You're carrying your candle, and it's like, let us go forth with lighted candles, as Christ something, something, something.
You were doing so well earlier.
I know, but that's just the way it is.
That's why you have the book.
That's why we have the book. So this is a day that if you have candles that you would like blessed, and some people are like, well, what do I do with the blessed candle? Blah, 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 blah. I often, when I work with couples preparing for marriage, families, I encourage them to have their prayer candle. Like when you sit down to pray together, when you are doing your couple prayer or your family prayer, even your personal prayer, maybe have a candle in your prayer station or wherever you pray, and that is your prayer candle, and it's lit only for that purpose. So you light that candle, and it kind of creates that. And if that candle is blessed, all the more. That this is what shatters the darkness. This is what helps us see the light of Christ. So bring your candle. It can be any candle. You don't have to go to a church goods store to get it. You can go to even the grocery stores sell churchy candles. I mean, you can get those votive candles, in the under the air fresheners, and then there's the candles with St. Jude and our, the Nino of whatever, and Our Lady of whomever, and they're all lined up down there.
El Nino, whoever. Our Lady of whatever.
They come in different flavors. So there they are. You can go grab one of those. It's in a little glass thing. It looks like a religious candle. Go to Hobby Lobby, pick up a nice, one that says faith on it or whatever. They've got candles, Jonathan. There's candles out there.
There's candles everywhere.
So bring one. It can be scented, unscented, doesn't matter. We'll bless it.
What about partially burned already?
Sure, but that doesn't quite seem to meet the same.
I'm just covering all bases.
If you want to bring a partially burned one, fine. But it's always good to bring a new one to start this off.
So they have time to go get one right now.
Get a candle, come to Mass. So tomorrow, because we have the Archdiocesan Clergy Conference going on tomorrow, we're not, usually it's in person and it's held in Schuyler. This year, at the Retreat Center, this year they didn't want to get all of the priests together in one gathering. So we're getting together in regional groups and we're going to participate on a virtual kind of the virtual presentations, and then our discussions and whatnot, camaraderie, is in the small group. So I'll be out most of the day tomorrow at the clergy conference. So Mass, we do have our 7:30 Mass for those who are 65 and older or with other health concerns. But then we also have, I'm moving the noon Mass tomorrow to 6:30 in the evening.
Oh.
So if you want to come with your candles and have them blessed, it happens at the very beginning of Mass, like very beginning. It's the first thing that happens. So don't walk in late.
I guess that counts us out.
And it's like, Father, we got here late. Can you bless my candles? No.
Not tomorrow.
That's what I will say. Because I've got RCA right after that. So that's how the candle blessing works.
Cool.
Yeah. So we'll bless the church candles as well, and the stuff that we use. And then of course we use candles the very next day.
You put them to use.
We put them to use for the Feast of St. Blaise. I guess one more thing we should say, Jonathan, before we strangle you, is that the Feast of the Presentation, because it's the 40th day now after Christmas, it is the final day of what you could consider the Christmas season.
So I really have to put my Christmas stuff away?
This is, if you have not put it away yet, this is the last day. It must go away. So, I have my little baby Jesus here, because my nativity, everything, all my other Christmas decorations are down, but I leave my nativity up until February 2nd. And then after the Feast of the Presentation, it's kind of one of those things, I put the nativity away and bring it out then next year. Or this year, but much later. Yeah.
Next church year.
Next church year. Yeah, so this is the day that if you have not done that, put it away.
I'm not going on my roof to take those lights down.
No, it's a little slick probably. It's also Groundhog Day tomorrow.
Oh!
Another holiday. Look at all these. And Groundhog Day is related to the Presentation Day? Feast of the Presentation?
No.
Yeah, it's a big Catholic thing. All of these holidays that we celebrate secularly are also kind of like Catholic days that we probably took from the secular things. So it's the secular made religious made. Yeah, so Groundhog Day apparently in Germany.
And those Germans have a lot to do with a lot of these things.
They do. They had a lot of these little things or whatever. But it was always said that on as you were walking to Mass on Candlemas Day, if you saw, I don't know if I think it was the hedgehog in Germany, but if you saw the hedgehog and the hedgehog saw its shadow and ran away, then it would be 6 more weeks of winter. Which, if you do figure this out and look at a calendar, it will always be 6 more weeks of winter. Because the Feast of the Presentation is exactly 6 weeks from the first day of spring. I mean, that's why this works that way.
That's a cool joke.
Yeah. So it's always 6 more weeks of winter, but it's the halfway point. It's the halfway. We like halfway points. Gaudete, Laetare, Groundhog Day. It is so there's all sorts of traditions about that. That was brought over by those German immigrants to the Americas. The groundhog is what we look, the Pennsylvania groundhog, Punxsutawney Phil.
Yeah.
So that's it.
I learned this year that a groundhog and a woodchuck are the same thing.
Really?
Yep.
Jonathan,
interchangeable.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
A woodchuck would chuck as much wood as a woodchuck could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
That's the correct answer. Oh my goodness. So there we go. So yeah, all of these things. It's also a traditional day to eat pancakes.
Oh.
That's a French tradition. Le crêpier. They teach your crepes to eat the pancakes.
So this is Candlemas Day.
Candlemas, yeah, on the 2nd. But, if you want to transfer that to Sunday, go right ahead.
Or just have pancakes every day this week.
Right. Why don't you bring some off to work tomorrow? Although pancakes not right off the thing are just not
those
as good.
Do not keep well.
No, they don't really keep well. I've always wanted to, we can't do it during COVID, but one of the things that I wanted to do, I remember last year, I discovered that pancakes were the traditional food on, and I'm not, I know why that is, because of the golden disc was like the golden disc of the candle, that it's the light of the candle, and so the sun of the pancake, it looked like so it was the light, again, it's all these religious connections, and those French, they like to eat. So, yeah, I wanted to have a pancake breakfast on the Sunday before Candlemas to kind of celebrate that and to acknowledge that as a religious thing at church. But we can't do that yet.
Nothing
COVID. All right. I think we covered all of the February 2nd Dealy Bobbers.
That's a lot. I mean, that's enough to cover the whole week.
Pretty much.
But say Blaze.
So Blaze. So we're going to take those candles. I brought some candles here, Jonathan, because I want to demonstrate. Now, you'll probably see white candles, but I didn't have white candles here in the house. I only had red. But red is appropriate because St. Blaise is a martyr.
He is.
So there's this old tradition that Blaise was an Armenian bishop. He was imprisoned for the faith. And he, with the other prisoners, there was a child there, and he was eating, and he was choking on a fish bone. And Blaise Heimlicked him? I don't know. Miraculously healed the child. And so Blaise is, his intercession is sought for maladies against the throat disease, and all other illnesses, really. So we invoke God's healing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like your vaccination, your spiritual vaccination. You go get your vaccination for bodily healing, and you get your St. Blaise blessing for spiritual healing. So we use the candles that we blessed on just the day before. I don't know where the candles came from for this blessing. If it was just like, hey, we got these candles laying around from yesterday. How about we use them?
That's so convenient.
It's so convenient. So we take the candles and we make a cross out of them. And we bless the throats with the sign of the cross. So by crossing them, usually they're tied with a red ribbon to help people to do that. But we cross the candles, and then we place the candles at the throat of the person, and we pray the blessing of St. Blaise through the intercession of St. Blaise, bishop and doctor. May the Lord deliver you from every disease of the throat and from every other illness, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. So the St. Blaise Day blessing, a lot of people like to get the St. Blaise Day blessing as part of their devotion.
Yeah.
So again, that'll happen at noon Mass here on Wednesday.
Just don't go eating any fish bones. My goodness.
Save your fish for Friday.
We thought we were rugged.
Yeah, luckily I'm not going to light the candles, although I think in some places they do light the candles.
That would be
dangerous.
Yeah.
Dangerous.
Especially with women and their hair or a veil, whatever. It's just asking for trouble.
Just asking for trouble. Or people with their ears sticking out because they're wearing their masks.
I didn't even think about that.
I know, look at all these dangers.
You must see a lot of the people with their... I guess we all see people with ears sticking out.
I know, it's a new thing. All yeah. So all these beautiful traditions.
Yeah. And that's only till Wednesday.
What a week! We got a couple other saints down the road. St. Agatha, she's invoked on Friday. Poor St. Agatha. Here's one of those situations, Jonathan, where, most of the time when we have patron saints, the patron saint lines up with a profession, a mode of death, some kind of miracle, whatever. Agatha is completely by mistake.
I'm not familiar.
So, St. Agatha is the patroness of cooks and bakers, especially. She's known as the patroness of bakers. Now, it's humorously sad. I'm not sure how to describe this, so here is your disturbing warning right now. The following information may be disturbing to you. But it's humorous, but then it's like, I should not be laughing at that. So I'm just going to put that out there, Jonathan. Why is she the patron saint of bakers? Because in every image that you see of St. Agatha, you see her holding a silver tray with what looks like baked bread upon it. And so people are like, oh, Agatha, she was baking some buns or some rolls or whatnot. She's the patroness of bakers. St. Agatha is holding a platter with her breasts upon it because she was martyred by the cutting off of her breasts. Not having anything to do with baking bread. Those are not little buns on the platter. That's where she gets the patronage of being the patroness of bakers, because someone looked at that and had no idea what was going on. She was one of those early Christian martyrs, that virgin martyr that, someone in power wanted to take for his wife and make his own or whatever, and she resisted, and so they mutilated her body in murdering her. And so she's also the patroness, especially those of breast cancer and breast cancer awareness. So I think that is a more appropriate patronage than the patronage, dear Agatha, of bakers.
See, I thought it was going to be like a St. Lawrence thing, because I think St. Lawrence is the patron of grillers.
Yes, because he was grilled alive.
But, as he was being grilled alive, he's like, turn me over, I'm done on this side.
He was
something
being
along
very
those lines.
humorous.
Yeah. It's like, oh, well.
No, it wasn't.
This is a good thing.
I told you this is disturbingly.
That's a little disturbing, because he was grilled. I was like, maybe she got baked and that's how she died.
Nope. Someone looked at that and said, oh, buns. No. No. Anywho. Yeah.
Yep.
So, Jonathan, February. It's a short month.
Yeah.
It's going to be March before you know it. Oh, Lent begins this month.
In about 2 weeks.
As we said, once the groundhog peeks out... Oh, that's just it. The Catholic groundhog. That was my own thing. If the Catholic groundhog sees a shadow, you are certain that there will be 6 weeks of Lent just around the corner. And indeed, it's true, because there's always 6 weeks of Lent. We're actually in what the old calendar of the church called pre-Lent. So you had Lent beginning on Ash Wednesday, but I guess in order to get people ready for Lent, which gets people ready for Easter, that you had to get ready for Lent. So there were 3 Sundays of pre-Lent. So if you attend Mass in the extraordinary form or in the ordinariate form of the divine worship form of the Roman ritual, this past Sunday and the upcoming 2, everything is vested in purple because you're already into pre-Lent.
Well, it makes a little bit of sense. You get down from the high of Christmas, And then you have just the few weeks in between, and then it's Lent, and that's a big change.
It is. I mean, this is that. Yeah, especially if you've had your nativities or Christmas decorations up for a month, 2 months, or whatnot.
I did unplug my lights a few weeks ago.
Oh, very good. A few weeks ago. Well, I guess very good. Very good.
Like a week ago.
I know. I drive around at night every once in a while when I'm coming home from the office, and like that house still has their Christmas lights on. Are these people just not home? What's going on? Anywho. All right, Jonathan. I will. We'll start talking about Lent here soon.
Yeah,
get people ready for it.
Next week we're right around the corner.
It's around the corner. Enjoy all the stuff that you're not going to give up now, or that you're going to give up now because pre-Lent.
February's here.
Ciao. Eat a pancake.